So today we got an LG VX9200M cell phone for repair. For those of you who are not aware, this is a top-of-the-line phone. I can totally understand why somebody would want to make this phone great again. It's got a camera, it's got a little screen, but when you open it up, it has a big screen as well. Oh, there we go. Look at that. Look at that sexy beast. Look at this phone. This is something. S9, eat your heart out. So today we've got that phone. We are going to be trying to make it work again for data recovery. I said that this is probably not something that we would be able to do, but somebody in live chat decided to keep asking until we caved and said yes. And I could not get Paul to work on this for the life of me until I said that if you make this work on stream, I will buy you the same bike that I have with the same motor, which is somewhere around $1,800. But this may make for a good stream. Let's take a look at what he's got going on. So what do you have on the screen there, Paul?
This is the main logic board of this phone. Here's the NAND chip. This is what is holding hostage all of that lovely data that customer wants. There's that blazing fast Qualcomm processor from 2006. There's that super high resolution 3 megapixel camera with a flash. That was unheard of back then.
Wait, this had a flash?
This had a flash?
Dude, the iPhone didn't have a flash in the beginning.
This was way ahead of its time, huh?
Whoa.
My favorite part, on the other side of the main logic board, is the keyboard board. And it has the little metal dome clicky switches. I miss these so much.
I used to type with my fingernails. The thing about those keyboards that I didn't like is there was absolutely no liquid resistance. It's not like you spill something on it, but let's say it rains a little outside and you start typing, it just, the phone, my BlackBerry had those switches and they would fry. But maybe this phone's better.
This one does look, it's kind of sealed under a whole clear panel. But yeah, if water gets underneath these domes, they're done. But there's nothing better than the feel of these clicky domes.
You like typing on the keyboard by clicking?
Yes. I miss being able to, like, when you could rub your fingers over the keyboard to find the keys instead of, on a screen. You can't
I like
do that.
voice to text.
Well, yeah, that's new. But so what could possibly be wrong with this phone? So let's start with a known good phone, and let's just we have no schematics. There's no information about this phone anywhere. So let's do a little bit of getting to know this thing first. So I'm gonna plug in a USB amp meter to a USB charger so we could see what this phone takes on boot up. Okay, so we have a good working phone here. I got a light on the screen. I got Verizon logo on the screen, and I'm 0.02 amps, so 20 milliamps. 20 milliamps without a battery. And it's telling me I need a battery on the screen, but I have a screen, I have a boot, it's on. This is the donor one, the good one. So now I'm putting the data recovery board into a case. Now if I plug this one in, so I'm not getting any boot, and it's taking 1.75 amps. That's not good. I'm at 5 volts, 1.75 amps. So that is definitely different here, and it's doing something it should not. So we have to have a short on this board somewhere. So let's put it underneath our thermal cam and see if we can find a short.
Okay, this is the data recovery board. So let's see what it is we need to do here.
So we plug that data recovery board in. Look at that. We got 2 shorts on the board.
Oh, dude, wait, do you see the temperature on that? Plug that back in. Look at what the temperature says on the screen. 90C?
It's covered over here. I can't see it.
Oh.
That's 90C on that?
Put your mouse pointer over it and plug it in. So there's a piece there that goes up to 80 Celsius.
I have 130.
What? How does that 130 Celsius?
Yeah. So yeah, that MOSFET is definitely bad, and something up here in this corner is bad as well.
Now the tricky thing is that's right next to the NAND, and every time you heat the NAND, you're more and more likely to kill it, and that's your only shot at the data.
First thing, let's get this off of here and see if it clears the short.
That went to 130 Celsius in under 2 seconds.
Yes, it did.
Have you ever seen a short that hot in a MacBook before?
No.
Because that's the thing.
Not that quick either.
Yeah, on a MacBook, the boards have all that heat dissipating capability.
All that huge ground plane.
Yeah, on these boards, they're really small, and they probably don't have that. So if a chip has a short, it just burns. right through everything. So what's the next step here?
I'm going to remove the MOSFETs.
Okay, now can you point with the tweezers to the offending one?
That's this big guy right here.
Okay, so that's the thing that was hitting 130 degrees. Now, is there anything by it, like a solder ball or something, or a burn mark that would allow you to tell with the plain eye without the thermal camera that that was the offender?
Sure doesn't look like it. There's no hole in it, no nothing.
Interesting. Can you touch it with your finger and plug it in?
No. I will have that model number scorched into my finger.
Like 130 Celsius. Wait, can you imagine if we were using the Jessa method of finding a short?
Put it on your lip?
Yeah, put it on
Oh
your
my
lip.
God.
Or put it on your face. You would have a new birthmark.
So we'll use 1 Paul amount of flux. And you want to point your air away from the sensitive NAND and away from the battery connector. We don't want to ruin that. Ooh, it's welded to the board.
Oh, it came off. Was there a connector above it that got a little...
Yeah, the battery connector got a little singed there.
Eh, who cares? Were you able to do that quick enough that the NAND didn't have to be shielded?
That NAND is not hot.
Oh.
My finger's right on it now. Think we could be lucky and that MOSFET's not needed for it to boot?
I
doubt it.
It could just be for the camera flash or something.
That'd be awesome if it is. Okay, let's plug it back in and see what my USB amp meter tells me it's drawn. 0 amps. So that's probably the main power MOSFET because it's not taking the 20 milliamps to boot. Okay, let's look at the other corner here where I saw a short too. Oh, look at that. Could that be some corrosion right here? This is a liquid damage phone. And I see some corrosion right here. And I think to be safe, I'm just going to windshield wiper this whole little corner and just replace everything. Something over here was getting hot, and I didn't want to keep it on long enough to figure it out because that MOSFET was really heating up. So it could be this. This looks a little discolored. It might be that. It might be that. So I'm just going to take everything off in this corner right here. Then maybe we could do a little bit of testing, though. Let's see if something's shorted. I don't know if this is a... This could be a coil. By the color of it, could be a coil. Could be a capacitor. That is dead shorted. What is this one? Okay, that's supposed to be a capacitor, I guess. By the coloring, it might be a coil, but no. This one's open, so that's probably a capacitor. So this capacitor is a dead short. Let's check that on our donor board. I keep forgetting we have a nice donor board. So here, open, here, look at that, open line. This is a capacitor.
Is that capacitor a different color on the good board?
Yes, it looks kind of burnt.
Yeah, that's an entirely different shade.
So that is what's coming off. I don't have to windshield wiper it. I'm just gonna remove that. Well, I should probably remove whatever transistor that is above it too, because if that's shorted to ground, that transistor could have gone too. I'll take both. I need a weight. Omnivice.
Are you going to call easy repair on this? Let's see. It depends if he puts the right amount of flux.
Is that the right amount of flux?
No.
For 2 components?
I don't think so.
Not even removing one. This is 2 components.
That does not look like the proper amount of flux. Let's see. Check if still shorted before soldering, Paul, says A28B. Of course he's going to check before he puts the capacitor on if it's still shorted. What do you take us for? Idiots?
No short, no beep, open line. So no, it is not the diode that is shorted. If it still beeped, then that would have been the diode that was shorted.
Someone says Lewis could save a fortune in Branson if he used less flux. What?
Oh, that was way out of focus, I'm sorry. Okay, so that takes care of that corner. Now we got the MOSFET over here. Let's prepare its pads by adding some leaded solder. A little bit of flux. My pad rehabbing it up in here. I don't have the filter on. Okay, there's way too much solder on those middle pads there. So let's get a little bit of Gootwick. Beep you. Beep. Nah, I took too much off. And then I'll put too much on, and then I'll take too much off, then I'll put too much on. There. That looks good.
You have to
Now I'm going to turn the board so I'm blowing the air in the right direction away from my NAND. Let's take the donor one off. A little bit of flux on the donor. Okay. Heat from a very steep angle away from that NAND.
Looks good.
Okay, give it a little bit of alcohol, cool it off. Okay, that looks good. Now let's plug it in and see if we have any life. I'm gonna plug it in. I'm gonna watch my power meter here, my USB power meter, and see what it draws. and it's drawing 0.02 amps. That's startup voltage. That's startup amperage. Look at that. Got an LG logo on the screen. Now it's going to warn me that battery is required. It's going to error out. But hopefully yep, battery is required. But it's starting. So hopefully the data is still there. We will plug in a battery to this and see if we can get the thing to start up and connect to a computer. And then I think I'm going to have to locate some LG software from way back when or something, because I doubt this is going to just open as a USB drive and let me download pictures from it. Phones back then didn't do such things. You had to download the LG proprietary software to communicate with your phone. So I have the back case back on, so it will hold the battery in. Let's put the battery in here. Okay, plug it back in, see what happens. Now, I've never plugged one in with a battery before, so let's see what... It's taking 0 amps, so I guess it's starting off of battery. There you go, 0.2 amps. 0.36 amps, so it's charging battery. Battery is required. It doesn't like this battery. But it's taking 0.34 amps. It's running off of battery. Maybe if I just let it charge for a bit. Maybe I should plug a battery into one of the known good ones and let it charge for a bit. Yeah, battery is required. Okay, let me take one of the known good ones and see if I can get it to give me a good on one of these batteries. Okay, this is a donor phone. I got a Verizon logo. I got a battery plugged into it. It's taking 300 milliamps. Battery charging. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and let this donor phone charge the battery for a bit. Until the donor phone boots. Once the battery's charged enough for this donor phone to boot, then I'll plug it into the data phone and see if I get this thing to turn on. Enter phone lock code.
Okay, look, wait, read the note that the dude sent, see if there's a lock code.
We have our administrative assistant calling him for the lock code. It's not on the note.
A one-page letter when you bring the phone and you don't send the fucking password. What the fuck? Who the fuck does that?
You have reached the cell phone of Michael.
So this is another shop that we're doing this for, so he's going to have to get in contact with his customer to get the phone anyway.
You should please simply state so and leave a callback number. Otherwise, leave your name, callback number, and a brief message.
You would not believe how often this happens, that somebody sends a phone in here for data recovery and they don't give us it.
Hi, this is Lewis from Rossman Repair. I'm just calling about the LG enV phone that you sent in with some of the donor phones. So the good news is that we did happen to fix it, and we are able to recover your data. And I saw on the letter that you wrote that you were looking for us to recover the data on stream. So I just wanted to say the happy news is that we're almost able to do that. The bad news is you didn't include the passcode, man. How am I supposed to finish the stream without the passcode? There's 400 people watching right now that want to see if we got the data, but we don't have the passcode. So if you could please call back and give us the passcode, that's 347-552-2258. That's 347-552-2258. Thank you very much, and have a nice day. Every fucking recovery. All right, so in the last video, I said that if Paul S. was able to fix that phone live on camera, that old 12-year-old LG pile of junk, that if he was able to fix it and recover the data and do it all live in one stream, that I would buy him the most expensive motorbike setup that I could find. And I am a man of my word. So what I'm going to be doing now is buying him that very setup that I got. So I'm going to check this out. This is a Bafang BBS HD. This is a 48 volt motor with a 17.5 amp hour 52 volt battery. This is my address up here. I am just going to move this out of the way because I don't want you to see my credit card number. You know, we've said many, many times that Paul does indeed get all of the shit jobs here. And that's just that's part of working at Rossman Repair. You get all the shit jobs. You have to do a lot of stuff that other people don't want to do. Because Paul is a valued member of our team, and he routinely does things. He routinely fixes things that nobody in their right mind would try to fix. I'm buying another one of these, and I think he earned it. I think he deserved it.